It's been a while since I did a harvest video here on YouTube. If you follow on TikTok, you get a lot more harvest videos. Every week, every 2 weeks, you get a harvest video on TikTok. On YouTube, spend more time like doing tutorials and teaching, so we don't really get much time on harvest. But today we're going to be doing just that, harvesting some stuff that I haven't been able to get to for weather reasons and also just being busy. But we're going to go straight into it today. Hello everyone, thank you all so much for joining in. This is Dylan from the Trini Gardener channel, and I'm always, of course, super happy to be doing a harvest video where we're going to be picking some stuff from the garden. There has just been like a lot of rain, storm warnings and flood and everything else has been happening in the Trini Garden, just like it has been in all of Trinidad for the past week, 2 weeks, up to a month and even more. So a lot of stuff in the garden and also just being busy. When you do have the time, sometimes you just don't have the weather, or sometimes you have the weather but you don't have the time. So bit of a catch-22 there, but today we're going to be doing a bit of a harvest. It's something that I kind of, regret not doing as much on YouTube. It's just sort of like, it's faster for me to put a harvest video together and then push that onto TikTok, just because it's easier to record. YouTube is a little bit different, a little bit more stuff has to go on, but don't worry about any of that. Today we're doing a harvest video, stuff in the garden that just has been neglected for really because I've just not been able to. And as we're here, I don't know if you all can see, I'll see if I get a zoom up on this here, but the sorrel is coming in. I'm going to show you all a problem that I've been having with my sorrel. I don't know, it happened to me last year and I've been a bit confused as to why it's been happening. But some of these trees, like they grew up as big as this one behind me here, then all of a sudden it will dry down. And I've talked to like some commercial farmers, people that actually plant, not in a backyard, but they plant to sell, to make money. And they're using all the heavy stuff, talking about like the chemical stuff and whatever, and they have the same exact issue. If you have any suggestions as to what could be causing this, let me know down in the comments, and we're going to get straight into the harvest video. Okay, so we're down in the little seasoning patch over here. I have some bandania, some celery growing up just over here, and here we have some cayenne peppers. Now this one got a bit damaged up by these birds. The birds like to come in for the peppers because they are very, very sweet until they start to mature. I start to fill out and then it starts to pack the heat. So they will still come in and they'll take a nib. When they take a nib, then other insects can come in and kind of destroys your pepper harvest. So there's a few, these are cayenne peppers. So obviously a type of chili, supposed to be good for your heart. Just gonna get some of these. There you go. Pepper grain guide and jalapeno grain guide is on YouTube. Container tutorial. So feel free to check that out. There we are. There you go. Your peppers. And this is your one I got like knackered. We'll still see what we can do with him. And then over here we have some chili peppers. These are not red hot chili peppers, but rather green and hot chili peppers. I tried some last week and they were really good. Right, so these are different to the cayenne. Right, they're very similar, but the cayenne generally doesn't get as long. There you go. The cayenne generally doesn't get as long, and it also doesn't get as thick as this one here, but all part of the chili family of capsicum crops. What is really cool about this pepper plant is that it is actually growing in just the space of a brick hole. That's all the soil it has. It has no room to go anywhere else underneath there. It's all the roots it has, and it has been producing fairly well. We have some more flowers over here. I'm going to cull it back. Culling means you reduce how many flowers you have on it because you don't want to overload a plant that doesn't have enough root structure or even like branches to handle the amount of fruit it might want to be setting. Okay, so I just realized that my mic battery died, so we're going to be doing this regular camera. As I was saying, is that these heads, which are grown in 1 gallon containers, so they're not going to be massive heads. They are a bit past the expiration date at this point here, so I'm just going to be using as much of it as I can and taking out some of the dry parts, using more of the leaves. But it's definitely still a broccoli harvest. It's just me, one, just not coming outside because of the weather, and two, just not having any time to come outside even when we did have okay-ish weather. But yeah, broccolinis, not full broccolis at all. Okay, so here we have the result of utter just mayhem and just not caring about the okra enough to come and make sure it was doing okay. So the okra over here has been hanging down like this for days. I just haven't had the time, and also not as much motivation, because I mean at some point I get kind of sick of okra. I just have grown so much okra at this point. These deer horn okra, they produce so well, so that doesn't mean I need to waste it, but it's just that it's a lot of work for something that I just have so much of at this point here. And just 3 trees and only 2 really producing, and yeah, just overflowing with okra, to be fair and honest. Up. Yeah. So the rest is on the ground here. Up. I lost my slippers. There you go. So a bit of POV. So more okra. Oh. I'll have to stake this up if I really want the tree to stand back up, but at this point, to be honest, I'd much, it sounds really bad to say, but I'd much rather plant something else. Just have so much. Like, look over here. Like, this is one tree. It's got 3 massive okra over there. Some more okra over here. There's only so much okra you could eat and then give away. People get fed up of how much okra I bring in by their house. Up. There we go, miss. Some more okra and some more okra. There we go. Up. There we go. And even more okra. At some point it's just not as fun as it used to be. I mean, I'll say that now, but when the okra stops bearing and when I eventually rip these trees out and I no longer have okra, you go here now. Hoping that okra will bear. Oh, there we go. Oh no, I thought I was done. I'm not. Still have more okra over here that's hanging down the tree. Somebody was asking me a very valid question recently, which is that, do I prune my okra leaves? Because they had seen people on different places, different platforms, pruning the okra leaves as soon as it started dry, taking them off. And the truth is that you probably should, but I don't, just simply because I've never really had a problem. My theory is that you put effort into plants that require that effort, and these okra just produce amazingly without me having to touch them, so they self-prune. I will let the leaves get dry and eventually die and fall off on their own, leaves or whatever the case is. The wind will just take that out of the equation. They'll just fall on its own. If I had problem growing okra, then I would look into ways of improving my yield. So pruning could be one way, but to say I just do it for the sake of doing it, I don't really do it. All right, so it depends on if you have problems with your okra. If your okra is not producing, then prune it off. Less leaves could mean more energy for producing fruit, but if not, I just leave it. That's my advice to you as well. Okay. Oh, let's get the rest of this okra. It's just so much. Now, some of this okra is going to be hard, but a lot of it is quite fine. And even if it is kind of hard, even if it is kind of hard, let me see this one here. Remember the test for if it's hard or soft. You just kind of so these are all hard. These are all gone. But in some dishes you can use it, and in some it may not be the best. Definitely hard, definitely gone. But again, I don't care as much as I probably should about my okra, which is terrible to say, I know. And the star of the show, as almost always, is going to be tomatoes. So I got some here. I started to pick these earlier and then stopped myself. I left a few to pick. These are pretty much ready. Right, one just came out up. There we go. So tomato. These are these have basically begun ripening properly. So I can just take this, put it into the kitchen, and it will continue ripening with the others and be a nice little bit of tomatoes with some tomato choker. And you all can see what I was talking about with having to race against the light. It's almost already dark and it's not even been half an hour that I've been filming. But that's just the name of the game when it comes to the end of the year, around Christmas time, in Trinidad at least. Luckily, I did take this video earlier in the day when I had a bit more light. These tomatoes, they have survived. They're special to me because they have survived all the rain, all the bad weather that we had. And we're going to be talking about that in a video, the reason why my tomatoes didn't die on me. Like a lot of people complain about the rains killing their tomatoes. We're going to talk in a video about why mine did survive and continues to produce more tomatoes even after all that rain. Okay, so the light has won this race. This is just a little haul that I've been able to get before the sun sets entirely and we lose all the light in the back here. Not a massive harvest, but to be honest, always happy for whatever we get in our garden. And of course, we're really happy when you all show us what you get in your gardens. So continue tagging us and following us on Instagram, TikTok, and on Facebook. Remember, if you know somebody who'd be interested in growing their own homegrown food right in their backyard, in a container, on an apartment, whatever the case is, to feel free to share this video and to share the channel with them, because it's a time when we could all use as much help and motivation as possible with growing our own healthy food right at home and taking that food system into our own hand and preserving the food security for ourselves and providing for our family at the same time, while also enjoying the time and spending time outside with your family and also with yourself in nature. Remember, as always, this has been Dylan from the Trini Gardener channel reminding you to get up and get growing. Take care.